welcome everyone to Beyond Injury Time, the football podcast, where we are going to cover another player in the Transfer Saga series, and that is Tonali. The transfer went through, I guess, a week ago or a couple of weeks ago from AC Milan, his boyhood club, to Newcastle, the Saudi club. So I would I would let Manish answer because as you can see in his video that he's put up a Pirlo photo thinking that Pirlo was a Newcastle player, but he was not. Only the
Yeah,
This is the
that's
closest. This is
definitely good.
closest. This is the closest
Yeah,
jersey we have
this is
of
the closest
Newcastle
journey.
with any one of us.
Yes, that's
no,
why
yeah,
he has put Indian Jugaad. Okay, I'll let Manish
no,
start on Tonali.
yeah. Rajesh is trying to like make everybody laugh, but it's not a Perlo jersey, it's Pirlo, Rajesh.
Pillow, exactly.
And one more thing, it's not about Newcastle. It's about a different style which Tonali plays. And from a Newcastle perspective, now they mean business. Now they got the new owners. They got a great coach. They got into top four. Now they are making those meaningful signings that is required for the team and to take them to the next level. Now, this guy, Sandro Tonali, is a very good midfielder. He was not supposed to be sold by AC Milan. He was really good player for them, and he's a very good player for Italy as well. He he also started his career from Brescia, from where Andre Pirlo also started his career. So I see a lot of
Ah,
things, a lot of people comparing him with Pirlo. Now the comparison is made not with the Pirlo that we know, that he who played so well in the Euros and for the Juventus team, but with the Pirlo who played for Inter Milan in his younger days. Now he takes on the ball, he can dribble, he can move with the ball, he can also tackle and break the play, but he does those audacious passes, those 70-yard, 60-yard passes. He gets that X factor. Now,
Yeah.
so this is what Newcastle needed because Newcastle were always like decent players and decent work rate and everything. Now this guy brings them to the
Yeah,
next level.
correct.
This
Newcastle
is
got the
what was
core
needed.
strong. They got the core
Yeah,
strong in past couple of years, and now they have reached the position where they have to do a big signings, right? They are this Tonali signing has made everybody a little uncomfortable, like 70 million being spent by Newcastle United because now we know the shit just got real, right? And
exactly.
this
Yeah,
finally, and I believe he's kind of a big piece in the puzzle of Newcastle right now because Gimaresh Gimaresh's game was becoming too one-dimensional. He is a very versatile player. Now, addition of Tonali gives him a lot of freedom. Uh, so Gimaresh can go more into a number eight role and can prove his passing, prove his final third in output very
yeah, it
very
also gives them a
nicely.
lot of tactical advantage also. You have seen
Correct.
Newcastle in the games which they have played really well, they have defeated the teams and they have got the points. In the games in which they have not played well, they have played just okay. They are not able to get any draws or any points or anything. They just got defeated. They got defeated to Aston Villa. They got defeated to many other clubs, which they should have won if they want to achieve big things. Now, this guy brings in those tactical advantages as well. They can move in different directions and different. He gives a different option because there are so many
I
midfielders
guess
now in Newcastle.
I
This
guess
guy
there
really
is
gives
a
next
good
level.
amount of food for thought that is going to be there for Eddie Howe because it's not going to be very easy to fit in Tonali because from what I was seeing is that Bruno, as we all know, Bruno Guimaraes has been instrumental for Newcastle for the 4 or 6 games that he did not play. Newcastle have lost, so he's a very big player for them.
Correct.
And Joe Linton has been filling in that role, right? Where Tonali is expected to cover as a body and all. Tonali, of course, covers a lot of spaces. Actually, he provides a lot of shield for the fullbacks in the wide areas. And especially in the Champions League, we've seen, right? He provides a lot of cover uh, for the fullbacks, for fullbacks
I
to allow them
I
to
am
go forward and all that. So,
I'm so glad that they were not able to sign Madison, or else the midfield of these three would have been just on a
Amazing.
different
Yeah.
level.
They could not have signed both of them. Either they would
They
have
could
signed
have.
Tonali or
They could have
Not
signed
very
anybody,
expensive,
man.
no,
man.
no,
You
no.
should probably.
FFP would have killed them actually. So they could not have signed both of
They
them
could
at
have
the same time.
sold few players to Saudi, no, in that case. So
Man, it's
they
easier
can they
said
can
than
ship
done.
to Saudi.
I know.
Exchange offer.
See,
They can ship something Saudi to
I'm
balance books.
I'm thinking from the
Yeah.
perspective, just from the table perspective. One thing that I just want to throw around in our discussion is that last season when Newcastle actually made CL, do we think that Newcastle was a team? Newcastle was a CL team that made CL, or Newcastle was a team that just made CL because everybody else were not that good? That's my first thing. And second thing is, let's just say if they were just probably, are they actually good now? Probably they would do good in CL as well, and they'll probably do as good as they did in last year in the Premier League in itself. Because see, we have seen Liverpool, who are out of the CL, strengthen very well. Okay, Spurs is strengthening, and even like United are already in CL, but they are also strengthening. Basically, the teams, the traditional top six are strengthening enough, I guess. So, are we seeing Newcastle there, or they still
No,
maybe
actually,
some more things need to be done?
the thing with Newcastle is that Howie has created a system based on the kind of players that they have, and he has focused a lot during start of last season was that I need to make my defense solid, and this particular team has to concede as less goals as possible. And they believed
They
in
were
their
able to
attack.
do that
Yeah,
as
they
well.
were able to do that. And Wilson actually has played under Howie for much of his Bournemouth career, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they actually, even though he has had injury issues, they have actually focused on him scoring goals and then being sustainable defensively with Sven Boardman's signing, right? Okay, about the Tonali transfer, it provides them very good cover so that Bruno Guimaraes may be in playing in an advanced role. But as Abhay, I would like to ask Abhay, he knows better than me that Bruno Guimaraes' best position is the number six. That's where his creativity comes from. What do you say, Abhay?
I'm a football romantic, and I'm heartbroken when I saw the transfer take place, right?
Okay.
Because you got to understand, Tonali is a Milanista, a proper Milanista.
Yeah,
His
man,
father
he
is a
cried.
Milanista.
Yeah.
His family is a Milanista. He grew up, wanting to play in the San Siro, right? And he was so happy when the transfer took place. He actually took a lesser wage as well, as compared to what other clubs were offering. And he ensured that Brescia only sold to Milan, and Milan was in a financial turmoil at that point of time. So the deal that Milan did was actually of a loan and then obligation to buy so that they could pay the next year. And Brescia actually ceded to their demands. So you got to understand the amount of efforts Tonali put from his side.
Hmm.
And when
There
I
are
saw
very few breed left of that. As
exactly,
yeah.
exactly, and they have these AC Milan have their ultras called Curva Sud, right?
Yes, yes.
And he used to talk to the Curva Sud, as in if he wouldn't have been a player, he would have been in the Curva Sud. You got to understand that connection, right?
Yeah.
And this just goes to show the financial situation of AC Milan, because they said as soon as the Tonali transfer took place that it had to be done because it increases our transfer budget into 3 times. It makes it 3 times.
Yeah.
When you look at it that way, you kind of understand that, let's say Tonali was like 50 million pounds, 60 million pounds, right? That means their transfer budget before him was what, 30 million pounds. Like that financial turmoil actually kills me, right? And I know you all people have said about Tonali this, he's good and that, but you need to look at Newcastle's midfield and you realize that when you put him in that midfield, right, he looks like a jack of all trades and master of none. Because
Perfectly put.
when
Perfectly
it
put.
comes to like carrying the ball, right,
Yeah.
Joe Willock is far better than him, far better in terms of pace and power. When it comes to passing, Bruno Guimaraes is really much better. Long
Yeah.
passes, short passes, everything. Joe Linton can also do, is very press resistant. When it comes to this guy, Tonali, he can do all of it, right? That's a good thing to have. But when you look at Newcastle, you realize that they need a bit more firepower in attack. That is the reason why they were going for someone like Szoboszlai and Madison. goals and assists givers, right? They are also like when you look at the wingers, right? It's the same thing that Arsenal had. I would say they have a good group of 11 or 12 players. Are they good enough for the CL very on so many competitions, right?
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah.
he's good, but I think they should have the money would have been better spent going forward. Also, the defensive line, right? Leave away Boatman, leave away Trippier. Whom do you look and you say, okay, these people can probably push forward?
But I want to say one
I would
thing.
like to say something on that. Like,
There is an
you
important
just
stat. I will just pitch it. Do you know Sandro Tonali was the held the record of giving most no, not giving, but rather he had the most chances created in UCL last season. That is 9. I don't know how he did that from midfield, but
No,
yeah, that's a
no,
stat.
no. But for that you need to give kudos to Pioli because of this. Pioli is the manager of AC Milan because of the system he created. When you look at the system, right, and even when you look at the first year he came to Milan, the fans wanted him out. He was absolutely shite.
Yeah. Ralph Ragnick was contacted to replace him, and almost the deal was done.
Yeah, no. I'm saying that they wanted Tonali out. They were like, "What is this dude?" Because they are in a
Oh.
financial turmoil and they have taken on a player like this, and they're like, "We have to pay for him." The next season, when he had Kessie with him, Benacer with him, who did the hand holding with him for him, that's when he improved. And the last season is the one where he actually came into form because Kessie was gone. So he has the ability to stand up for sure. So
Yeah.
that's a really
So,
good.
Manish, what were you saying? Go ahead.
No, I was saying like as Abhay said, he's not an expert in all those positions that he mentioned, but he does have that X factor. Now you just people don't simply compare anyone with Pirlo. Like he must be having something. Yeah, he is handsome, but he might come second to Pirlo in terms of looks. But yeah, he also plays with some X factor. He will shoot when likes of those players which Abhay mentioned would think twice, so he will give that pass, risky pass, which may not like click, but he will try that. So this is what Newcastle needed. Like they are going to play in the Champions League. There are going to be moments where you need to do something out of the box. So this guy will do that. I am sure that he is not an expert in all those positions that he can play, and he would need some support from the base Newcastle midfield, which is already there. They are going to support him,
So you
and that's
think
how he
he
can
will play
flourish.
in a number 8? He'll play in a number 8 role and not a
He
number
can
6.
play in various positions. There, number eight. He can also come on as a substitute and give a tactical twist that is also
I
needed for
don't think he's
Newcastle. He
coming on as
cannot
a
be.
substitute after having spent 80 million, man.
No, it's not like that. Like in certain games, Newcastle has to play to defend or play to stay in the game. You cannot go and dominate every game because Newcastle have to now look to win and get more points from all the games they are playing. They cannot just say, okay, this team will just lose or we'll just go bang bang and if we'll try what happens. In terms of Champions League games, there are games where you have to go away and then get a point and come back. You have to win your home games.
That's what,
Even
yeah,
those kind of games,
Tonali will be
yeah.
very
And
useful.
and
Yeah.
and and when you're playing a Champions League, you are going to have a lot of fixtures, and in those run of fixtures, you need to rotate. So he cannot play every game. So in that aspect, he can come on. He can provide that X factor. So
Man,
that is why I say he is special.
I'm not used to thinking Newcastle are playing Champions League, man. It really
Yeah.
got out of my head
Yeah.
until
Uh,
Manish reminded me, man.
Yeah.
Amit, go ahead.
But
No,
seriously, he's a very versatile player. He can play sixes as well as eight. I would just want to complete the saying that Abhay has started that he's a jack of all trades and the master of none.
You're
But
copying him.
uh,
Okay, go ahead.
it is yeah, I'm saying he's jack of all trades, but master of none, but still better than master of one. Right. So
Hmm.
this is a complete saying that goes right. Jack of all
Okay.
trades is better.
Yeah.
So the point I want to make is maybe Madison and Soberslai would have been a better fit for him. But what I believe is maybe adding Tonali into the midfield can unlock Gimarish's attacking potential, which I believe he has given multiple interviews that he also want to play in a more attacking form as a number eight. He wants to go there. He wants to play as a number eight
Do you know how
more.
we actually tried him in an attacking role? and he failed miserably. It's one of those most poor
But
games that he had.
No, but also you need to understand when you look at Bruno Guimaraes, right? His biggest strength is his passing, right?
Yeah,
By far, as in his
proper
long
passer.
passes
Hmm.
are amazing and cutting through the line breaking process. The difference between Tonali and him while carrying the ball is Tonali is more agile. He can shoulder drop. Bruno Guimaraes is a little rigid comparatively. So when you take in number 8, you want firstly Tonali has a little more running power than Bruno Guimaraes in terms of number of high intensity sprints. This is what I'm talking about, and the ability to dribble or just manipulate the ball a little bit, right? So when you look at it that way, when both of them are playing, if you the the only positive sign I see when you put Bruno Guimaraes forward is because his passing is so good, his ball, as in you're just hoping his ball striking gives you goals,
correct.
and that is happening because you have not bought Madison and Soboslai.
Man, you know how
Right.
Tonali came into news. He scored that brilliant free kick while he was playing for Brescia, man. You guys should
Yeah,
watch it if you've
Correct.
not watched
yeah.
it.
Man,
Correct.
no,
Impossible
This
goal.
signing gives them a lot of fluidity as well in midfield, right? These players can complement each other. One can
yeah.
go forward, one can stay back. Even in case they are leading, these two can give you defensive solidity as well.
Again, like
But
we discussed for Timber, right? Like Abhay was saying, the position of the players and how they play, how they manage, if they start together or not, if Tonali starts from the bench, will be dictated by the kind of teams they face.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you need to understand that Newcastle were also aiming for Barella, right? They were aiming for Barella, and
Barella.
I mean, you can ask the fans of Serie A, to people who were probably not AC, even AC Milan fans would say that Barella is a notch better,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
absolutely, man.
Yeah, a notch better. So when I look at Tonali, I think that he's a good player without a doubt, and I do agree that he's a master of none, but he can do all things at a decent level.
At a
It's a,
decent level,
Decent
yeah.
level.
at a
Correct.
very decent level, and
Yeah. Matlab,
that's a good
if
player to
he's
have.
doing 3-4 things right, for everything you pay 20. So 20 into 4, 80.
I was going to come
Very
in
nice.
that actually.
Very nice.
We are talking in such a normal way about somebody who I don't know what is it, 70, 80.
Seventy,
बस
He,
eighty.
he,
70
he,
अस्सी
he
लगा
he
लो
went for
भाव भाई.
70, 70. So
70
70,
million.
right?
around
So
60 million
okay, around 60
pounds,
million. Okay,
pounds,
okay,
pounds. So
yeah,
Everyone's
60
ballpark.
throwing
million.
around figures like it's for fun. 70 कोई.
No, so a signing like that is probably supposed to be a starter, is what I'm saying, thinking. A starter. See, Newcastle is not a team that has its way of playing set up so well that they can challenge at the top. Okay, so basically, this is the time where they bring in people who are going to change the way they play, or who are going to add so much that their style improves. Right. From whatever discussion I have seen at this particular point, I'm obviously less knowledgeable about the guy than you guys are. But whatever discussion that I've seen, at least this particular point, he just doesn't seem like that guy to me. And I know that Newcastle is at top four last season, and they are going to play CL, but they are going to play CL and PL both. I don't see currently, at least with the team that they have, how good of a season that they can have. And I guess the point always is whatever you've done last season, you're supposed to do it better, right? So
That's a very fair point,
and
Abhay.
and
so I think they got Tonali good, but really, did they get exactly what they needed, or they just got somebody who will do the job enough? But is that enough for them now? Because
What I
ambitions are
believe,
great now.
Abhay, is he's a youngster, right? So Newcastle, we should not confuse Newcastle to be a title winner or a UCL winner in next season.
No, not
Even in
thinking like
next
that.
three
Yeah.
to yeah, even in next 3 to 4 season, right? This is the first big step they have taken to reach UCL. Now the actual struggle will start to maintain the squad depth, to have all those players, and this will take them 3 to 4 years. Maybe this next year they might not come to UCL. They do not qualify for it.
Yeah,
Then
because
maybe
Spurs
after
will
that year
finish
they
top
don't
4,
have
right?
Europe, so they will obviously. So
See, that's exactly
That
what I
is
was saying. I was going to, yeah,
No, he's
that.
actually speaking from experience.
For all those
Yeah,
teams, for
exactly, man.
all those
From
teams,
Exactly,
cycle.
exactly.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Chelsea, we do not have Chelsea representation, but for
Mhm.
all those teams like Liverpool and Spurs, they feel threatened here by Newcastle. They
No,
are saying they have to
Our,
Quite
maintain the level.
honestly, I have to say this. Quite honestly, I know Newcastle is going to be there someday because we've seen City do it. So I
you've
know
seen
that
City
Newcastle
do it.
has the same.
You've seen
See,
Chelsea do it. You've
you
seen
see
City,
Chelsea do
Chelsea
it.
do it.
You pump in money and
But
you're going to get there eventually. So I'm not threatened today, but I mean we have seen Chelsea, Man City do it. So they're going to come up and we are still competing. So I mean I don't care too much about
But
it.
Liverpool have
But
spent quite a good amount of money.
no,
You obviously see them
they have
competing this
spent,
season,
yeah,
right?
obviously. Yeah, yeah.
no, but
And
I have a very different take on the transfer. When you look at that transfer, it also sends out a message that listen, we have the power to take from the big wigs of Europe. This is the first player they have taken out from a
correct.
that
very big
plays a
team,
big
Correct.
point, yeah.
who was important to them. It was not like,
Mm.
Vice captain, I believe.
yeah, he was
No,
important.
he's
So
captained
You
now,
in
know,
some of the
I felt
UCL games.
like they
Uh,
made that kind of statement when they signed Trippier, I guess. That itself
no,
was a
no,
big
with
thing, I guess.
Trippier, the difference was
age
look at
and
the age Trippier was
mhm,
signed at. Secondly, 1 year left in the contract. He
mhm.
wanted a longer contract,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
Atletico Madrid were ready to sell him at a reasonable price,
Okay.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
at that point of time, Newcastle were fighting for relegation at that point of time when they got him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you buy Tonali, you're taking a Italian
Important
youngster
player.
from a well-established team, the Milans and the Juventus.
Yeah,
It's
you're
really
taking
tough
it
to
from a
take the
five-time
Italian.
UCL winner.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
tough to take from these teams. You're sending out a statement and you're giving out this that listen, we have an interesting project, and look at the players that are coming. So the other
Mm-hmm.
players that are looking, they're like, okay, this might be a good project. You know, it's also about
Mm-hmm.
sending a message. I think it works that way. It works very well in that
Yeah,
manner.
I do
But
Yes,
agree with
purely
that.
if
correct,
you
correct.
but
Okay,
purely if you
so
look at in footballing terms, no, I agree with AJ whether he was the right place to spend money on
yeah,
and that much amount of money on.
Mm-hmm.
no, actually, there is a bit of story behind it. Actually, how the actually Tottenham were interested, Chelsea were also interested before they moved towards thinking of Caicedo, because Caicedo is going to cost them more than what they are going to pay for what they would have paid for Tonali. Yeah. But there was a little story behind it. So these this Rayuman or something, Ruman or some guy is there, right, who negotiates on behalf of Newcastle for transfers. I'm not recollecting the exact name. He was very fast in completing the deal for Tonali. He actually visited, Milan offices and wanted to complete this deal in a very hush-hush manner before word got out that Tonali was actually available and Milan were ready to sell him at a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you guys would have seen. All of a sudden, we heard the news that Newcastle were
Mm-hmm.
completing the deal. There were no rumors, not from Fabrizio or Onstein or
Correct.
anyone. So yeah, so that's how the deal was completed. Uh, so time to rate the transfer,
So they
guys.
see opportunity, they took an advantage of it.
Yeah.
Newcastle, she saw the opportunity and they completely grabbed it. But
Spurs know
yeah,
all
How do you
about it.
rate the
Don't you?
transfer rating, guys?
Yeah, I would
Manish,
rate it.
you
I
started
would rate it
off.
9 or even more than that. I would rate it 9.1 because as you just said, we didn't see a lot of rumors of this player linked with other clubs. That's why we are not rating him that much. But had there been a lot of rumors, we would have said, okay, oh, great signing. But they were really quick. They needed this kind of a player, and they've got him. It's a statement signing. So I would say 9.1. I would say, yeah.
Actually, I would be a little strict on the on the rating, because there is a lot for Howie to think about. Like I mentioned at the start, right? How to fit in, how he will combine or not combine, how he will use him. So currently, I'm not sure what's the tactic that is going to be when it comes to using Tonali and getting the best out of him. So I'll rate it a 6 actually for now. Go ahead, someone.
okay,
Okay.
I'll okay, Abhay. Uh,
Okay. So I will just say this that from Newcastle perspective, they wanted the signing, so maybe they know what they want to do with him. I currently don't see it. Probably based on everything that we have discussed in general, his profile, I still don't know if they could have gotten somebody better, or maybe they'll get somebody better. I don't know. But just from Newcastle's perspective, it adds something to their team, and it was too important, so important that they just went with him. So I'll probably go with 7 for now, and let's see how it goes.
Okay. Abhay?
Uh, I'm going to be I'm going to side with Rajesh as well. I think the amount of money that they have spent and the profile that they have spent on, I would give it a 6.5. And I think Manish was saying that it came out of nowhere. That's why there was no hype. I think it's the other way around, because he's coming from Italy. There is so much hype. If he was
Yeah.
from the PL, from a smaller team, probably there wouldn't have been so much hype, because he's coming from Milan. You're like, huh, acha player hai. So I think I'll give him a 6.57. Yeah.
Amit?
I would actually rate him higher, rate the signing higher, because of it being a statement signing, because of the announcement Newcastle is trying to make right now. And also, I have seen Eddie Howe making these even making below average or average players work in a very profound manner in his team right now, right? We did not even recognize those players so far, and last 1-2 season they are being considered as a
Yes.
good player.
Right, good one.
So having a person with this potential,
Very good
getting
point.
him
Yeah.
in the team, I think this can fit very well in this team, and I have a hunch, I would say, because of which I'm giving 9 out of 10, that this will
Wow.
prove to be a very good
So
signing
you are
for them.
What
saying
a division,
it is
man.
a
What a
so you are
division.
saying it's a Howie signing, not a Newcastle signing, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Howie has asked
So
for Tonali.
that
Okay.
is
Only time will tell.
that is how the gambles work, right? The gambles is either 6 or 9. There is
Yeah.
nothing as an average 7.5 in between, right?
See, this is
It
like
will
such
either
a
work or
division,
not.
So Manish, I'm pretty sure he's happy because he has seen something in him. So he's very positive. I think pretty sure Khanna has seen he's thinking from a different perspective. Also the player, but also how Newcastle thinks. And all three of us are going to be labeled as haters because we do not rate him because he's from Newcastle, who threatens our position in top 4.
And Abhay, you rated him how much? You rated him 7. Even after
Yeah.
saying that Newcastle have bought him, they only know what to do with him.
Yeah. So that's why I rated him higher. I would have gone with 5, dude. I went
You
with
should have
7.
rated him 5. You should have rated him 5, man.
No, see, the thing is now, maybe I'm just too naive to see it currently, but I don't currently know. See, Newcastle is a CL team now. You cannot look at it as a team which just it is used to be in top 10,
No,
right?
and
It's a
I
CL team
understand.
now.
I
It's a top
understand you
4
hate
team
the club.
now.
You hate the club.
No,
You stole your Champions
I
League
don't hate.
places.
I don't hate the club because they took our position. I hate the club actually. Yeah. So anyway,
back when
Nice one, nice one.
Manchester City started signing this, statement signings, could be start of that. They
Yeah.
I
would
know. All I'm saying is that
And they are
from the
doing smart
perspective,
recruitment so far.
I know they
Okay,
will get
guys.
there, man.
Yeah, we all the ratings are in. I guess Tonali proves to be a good player for Howie and Newcastle. The league is going to only get better and competitive, and the fight for top
Yeah.
4 will surely hotten up next year because Chelsea, the likes of Chelsea, Spurs, and Liverpool are also making great strides in the transfer market, and we hope to see a good competition once the season starts, guys.
For
So,
the second place.
yeah.
Yeah, for a second.